FEVA TV, you know what it is. Kiri Lee holding you down. The biggest interviews anywhere. And hey, this one, I told you about it. I promised it. And you know what it is. I never, ever break a promise. We're talking about the who's who in the game, in the world of DJing, MCing, producing. They've worked with the likes of Ariana Grande, Travis Scott, Marshall Montano, Chronix, Snoop D-O Double G, and the list goes on and on and on. I always say that they live all around the world and atop the Billboard charts. I'm talking about none other than Major Lazer. We have the big man in the building. I'm talking Welshie Fire. Welshie, what's going on?
Blessed love, manners and respect, everybody. Big up.
Yeah, man. Amazing to have you. We've been trying to hook up for a little bit. So much going on. New music, new album. We're going to talk and delve into that as well. We're going to talk about just the influences behind your craft and what you do, the passion. Of course, we'll ask and we'll speak a little more about your world. I'm not going to call it domination, but just the imprint that you have placed, specifically the Major Lazer sound all across the world. EDM, soca, of course, Afro beats, just the whole nine. So I think that's where we'll start it, right there. So if someone didn't know who Major Lazer was, if they didn't know, how would you describe what it is that you guys do?
We represent the third world through music and live performances. That's basically what we do. Represent all third world countries through performancing and music.
You guys have been able to encapsulate it in a way where people really gravitate to just the energy. That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think Major Lazer. I think energy. I think everything is up. So, I mean, talking about that, talk about your roots. How you became a part of Major Lazer, the role, the function that you play, and of course, obviously, why you believe that people love you so much. Why does Canada love you so much? Like, why do people feel you the way they do?
Yeah, man. Well, I used to play a song called Black Chiney, and the other members of Major Lazer are also from Florida, so I knew them during Black Chiney. So they asked me to join. I joined, and yeah, I do a lot. I do a lot of the production. I'm the MC on the show, and yeah, man, I just think that it's been a blessing to be able to even have fans in Canada. You know, from Black Chiney, I had fans, and then Major Lazer, I have fans, and then solo, I have fans. When I come to Canada and do solo tours there, you know, they all do very well. So it's a blessing.
Talk about that a little bit. Talk about your role, Black Chiney. Obviously, you were on the stage, you were on the road. What was that like? And again, talk about the flavor, the flair that you brought to what was already going on. Like, talk about the remixes, but talk about the flair and the flavor that you brought to it.
Black China was, you know, known as the Remix Kings. Got popular through mix CDs, and then of course put out some vinyl as well, and just went into production first, and kind of led the way for myself and Willie Chin to start to go into production. So big him up, real general, big up Bobby Chin.
General, come on.
But yeah, you know, it was just one of those things, man, for like, you know, maybe I would say about 12, 13 years, man. It was the number one sound. It was the sound that ran the world, no question.
Now, do you have, big question for you, talking about that era, that time, do you have a favorite remix? Do you have something that just above everything else that used to play, that's something that just really resonates?
For everybody out there that might remember, we used to play a Capleton on the Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. And it was, come on everybody, this is fire time. But you know, it was like real headbanger type stuff, man. But club would just go crazy, man.
Mod. I love that. So we talk about favorite remixes, of course, talking to Welshie Fire from Major Lazer, DJ, MC, producer, the whole nine, Billboard award winning.
Hold on, please. Come on everyone, ready, it's fire time. Blazing this fire when the rain or shine. Come on everyone, ready, it's fire time. I'm the real fireman and fireman man. What is up for you? Turn it up, turn it up, burn it up, turn it up, burn it up, turn it up, burn it up. Hey, yo, where you like that? Burn a fighter. Where you like that? Burn a lighter. Where you like that? Burn back lighter. Where you like that?
And so fast forward now some years. So again, Black China was big, introduced you to the global scene. You introduced the global scene to your talent and what you do. How did you come to be a part of Major Lazer? How did that get down?
We knew each other before Black Chinese, so the guys just asked me to join because we were already friends.
Right, right, cool. And again, for those who don't know or may not be aware, list some of the people, artists. We talked about it briefly a moment ago, but artists that you've worked with, remix for, all that.
Too many to name, man. Too many to name. It's been a blessing, though. It's been a blessing. They can definitely, go check out the previous, go check out all the albums. It's out there, but it's been a blessing.
So we prefaced it with some of them, some huge, the biggest of the big names, from Bruno Mars to Ariana Grande to Snoop, D-O-double G. Is there anyone who you haven't worked with as of yet?
Too many to name. Trust me, the list is long.
So you still have a lot of people that you want to work with?
The list is long, man, very long.
Okay, so I love this. So in other words, and that's again what we're talking about. There's still a lot of work to be done, in other words. But huge in the world of Afrobeats too. I heard that in Nigeria, for example, I heard that y'all is big. I heard that you guys shell it out there.
Yeah, man, Africa's no different than anywhere else. I get that. I think that people, for some reason, I guess maybe think that it's like a big deal because it's Africa. But Africa's no different than Toronto and no different than New York. They've got kids and kids like music, and it's a blessing to be able to go there and play and to have those kids enjoy what we do. When we go to Kenya or South Africa, or I've done more solo tours in Africa than I have done anything with Major Lazer. So when I go solo to Rwanda, to Mali, and to Uganda and Ethiopia, and I play. It's the same blessing as if I was in, Atlanta. It's the same blessing, man. I just give thanks that people enjoy what I do.
No, again, and that being a blessing in itself. Well, Shifaya, of course, one part of Major Lazer holding it down. And Consider, the remix, you guys call it Consider 2. Everybody on it, from Flavor to WizKid to Catch the Band. Talk to us about the release of that song. What's that about? How did that come together?
Yeah, man, we'll have to big up Del B, have to big up Winnie. They're the ones that really put the song together. A lot of the time, songs are presented to me, and that song was already out. And so when it was presented to me, I was like, yeah, I really think this song would work in my market. We should do a remix of it. And I reached out to Kes, and Kes was definitely like on board immediately. So it came out great. We actually shot like a mini video for it, trying to see if we can post that up pretty soon. But yeah, man, that came together just through friends working together.
Sing, 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 sing. Baby, consider. Baby, consider. Baby, consider. Baby, consider. Girl, what we could be. Consider you and me on an island chilling in the West Indies. Girl, you the best indeed, Lord. Give me love, give me flex. The way your style and finesse. You got that I can't forget. And then it dance me, I get girl, I hold on to you. Style me, I style in your rukun kutums, girl. Let me know you.
Try, baby, consider.
Baby, consider.
I dey try, your baby, consider.
Baby, consider.
There's money, baby, consider.
Baby, consider.
You no go regret it, my baby, consider.
Yeah, baby, consider.
So beautiful, and again, an extensive network that you have through your time in the music
It's a
industry.
blessing.
Talk, and this is really interesting to me personally, and I think that your fans would appreciate it too. When you think about where the game was when you first started, or when you first came to the light, you know what I'm saying, versus where it's at now. Obviously, a lot of transitions, new stylings, Afrobeats being one of them, but also the emergence of trap. How did you guys interpret and navigate that new landscape?
Yeah, so that's kind of what I do. Is I stay on top of music as it emerges. So it's not really like I'm navigating something, like it's not like I jumped out of a helicopter and landed in the Amazon, and now I've got to figure my way out. I'm already there when it's growing. When the trees are growing, I'm already there.
Right.
So there's genres of music right now that are about to explode globally, and I already know them. I've already connected with the artists, and I've already started working on music in that particular genre.
And that's where the gold is buried. I mean, curious about that. When you say genres of music that are just bubbling on the underground, give us an example.
I think the only one that I think I would really say everyone should go check out is Ama Piano, Amapiano. Yeah, it's the only one that I think I would mention here. That you're just gonna fall in love with it the first time you hear it, and it's gonna grow and it's gonna come across to America. And I've been blessed to be able to already have made a few songs and be in that. So shout out to everybody from South Africa. You guys right now currently have the best music in the world. Like that music right there is the best music in the world.
Fire on top of things. He always knows what's good. And so, I mean, definitely we're going to lock in and look into that.